We said we'd talk about the tyre issues that we had. It is just our opinion. It is just what occurred to us. We always would suggest that you seek proper advice, which is what we did.
Expert advice, yeah. I mean, we don't know whether it was bad luck or operator error or a combination of both.
But we think it was bad luck.
I think it was bad luck. It's a real science. You've got to weigh your vehicles. You've got to get the right weights, the right tyre pressure for the weight, and in conjunction with what's going on in your tow vehicle.
Based on calculations. We actually did the calculations.
We were getting variations in tyre pressure from cold to hot when we were driving shorter or longer distances. We were getting some instability in the van based on what we really couldn't figure out. So we went originally back to Mars, talked to them and said, well, what do you guys suggest? You're the experts. And they did a lot of testing for us, a lot of looking at it, trying to find solutions. Yeah, they were great to help us out, as were the original tyre manufacturers. They had suggestions, they had ideas, and tried to help us out so that we would travel down the highway nice and steady and stable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Mars did everything they could, and we often said to them, if you can't duplicate the issues we're having and you can't diagnose, you can't fix. We tried everything. It was getting to the point our tyres were going 10, 12 psi in minutes from a cold temp on a 25-degree day. We'd put TPMSs on it, and we were baffled. We'd done all the calculations. We had our pressures set. We took all the advice. We took the tyre pressure calculator based on load. Load's pretty consistent. And we were finding when Marvy, that's the van, when Marvy, the pressures just were really skyrocketing on us. Marvy didn't like it at all. And Victorian or New South Wales roads are pretty ordinary.
Which only made things worse.
We don't. If we hit an off camber or we hit a bit of a rough section, we would expect the van to rebalance quite quickly off the rough end or the off camber. But Marvy was kind of like not doing that.
Not behaving.
No. So we did take it back to Mars just before Christmas. They were amazing. We said that if they can't duplicate what's occurring, they can't diagnose the issue. So they did everything we could. We brought it home that day, didn't we?
And it behaved.
Yeah, empty water tanks as well.
Figure. It behaved.
And we knew these vans are designed to be stable. You might hear a lot of people saying about single axles. We know these vans are stable. We were quite confident in that. We were very confident in our packing, and it just became a process of elimination. But some trips were becoming a bit white knuckling.
Yeah, and not the sort of thing you want when you're heading off to try and enjoy yourself.
No, but Mars were fantastic. Cannot fault them. And then one day we're off over the new year.
Just heading down, and in a very short period of time that we got our instability back again. We both looked at each other, did a U-turn, went straight.
Hang on a minute. We did more than look at each other.
Yeah, we swore a lot too. we swore considerably.
Yeah.
Both at just about everything except the other drivers on the road, because we didn't want, we were worried about them. But we did the U-turn. We headed straight for the tyre shop.
Into Bob Jane and said, this is what's occurring. What do you think? And I think we were pretty convinced that day we're going to change the muddies. And we went across the Falken Wildpeak all-terrains, nitrogen filled. One thing we noticed too is the tyres, the original tyres, were appearing to leak. We could drop a 5-10 psi, and we weren't even sure why. So we swapped across, made the decision on the day, put on the Falken Wildpeak ATs with a good load index sidewall.
Yeah, like 120, 122 load index. So light truck.
Yeah, nice all-terrains, AT all-terrains. And we left the second Bob Jane because they're the only ones that had our size in
stock.
And
we were heading away that day.
And it wasn't public holiday. And what happened?
Well, pretty much the minute I started driving, it felt differently. The van rolled better. And this, I think, is something that's very important and it's well worth considering, is matching tow tyres and tow vehicle tyres. Or, sorry, caravan tyres and tow vehicle tyres.
But how when we got in, I found straight away, because we hadn't hit the freeway to go to Gippsland, straight away I wasn't feeling it in a car as much. Yes, we've got stiffer shockies, we've got Tough Dog upgrade suspension.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling it in a car, which just takes the stress levels down straight away. But how did she tow from then?
She towed a lot, but she was a lot more stable.
She was 100% stable. Yeah.
If there was a dip in one side of the road or the other, it went into it, came out of it. It didn't continue rocking, which was very important.
Because we were getting I don't know what the word for it is. I don't know if it's a wallow. We're getting left, right, rock.
Yeah. Basically, you go into a thing to go like that, bang, 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 bang. Now, what we found with the new tyres, it was bang, bang.
We didn't get that. And when we went through dips on the new tyres, Marvy would just truck behind the Everest and it would just roll into the dip and roll back out. She barely moved. And I remember saying to her on that 2 or 3 hour drive, it's like the van's almost too stiff behind us. We are on a DO35 hitch, but the van was just, it was night and day. Now, disclaimer, we're not going to mention the tyre company because I don't think they deserve a bad rap. The Australian distributors have been absolutely fantastic.
Everybody involved's been brilliant.
We're not going to slag out. We just believe there's just a little bit of bad luck in it, and we're just grateful that we managed to work out what was going on.
At the end of the day, the number one lesson is talk to your experts. Don't rely on little snippets of YouTube stuff that somebody from...
Hang on, we're YouTubing.
Yeah, but we're not telling them what to do. Some little fella from Uzbekistan saying you must do this. Don't take any notice. Go to your Goodyears or your Bob Janes or wherever you want to go. Talk to those guys. They're the experts. They do this for a living.
But also to trust your instinct. We knew by process of elimination that there could not be any other reason. Was maybe we just had a bit of an off batch. Maybe we were just unlucky. And the minute we changed to the Falkens, free plug their Falkens,
problem solved.
The van was exactly like it should have been the whole way through. I said, we're not slagging any company. We are not intending to. Everyone has been amazing through it. We're doing this to say, if you get some rocking and your van just doesn't seem to like the road, and bear in mind, Victorian roads are pretty shitty, but to me, the van should roll into a lousy patch, and when the patch is, we've passed that patch, come back to its normal centre of stability. We weren't getting that.
And do yourself a favour, don't have any white knuckle trips and sleepless nights over.
No. I mean, it was, the hard part for us was how inconsistent it was. We came home from Mars having it the week before Christmas and they couldn't find an issue. And we had empty water tanks, which everyone says don't tow on an empty water tank.
Empty water tanks, full water tanks, full load, no load, gas.
So hang on, when we came home that day before Christmas, the tanks were empty and the van just towed beautifully and we're like, okay, what's going on here? A week later, we're in the van, fully loaded, everything's appropriate. Boom, the tyre pressures were going through the roof. And we're saying it's like a 25-degree day. We've only travelled half a K. Then from one Bob Jane to the next Bob Jane, between like 15, 20 minutes, we had reset the tyre pressures back. We knew where the van was comfortable, which pressure when it was hot. And it tended to behave most of the time from there, but still didn't work. And then from one Bob Jane place to the next, the tyre pressures went boom again. And we're like, just drop the speed, drive at 80, drive at 70.
But now with the new setup, nitrogen-filled tyres, that's a personal choice.
It's all gone.
500, nearly 600 kilometres later, no problems at all.
No, we waited to make the video. We did the trip to Gippsland, the return trip home. We were pulling the van, a 3-ton van, up a 14-degree hill in Gippsland. We didn't have an issue. The van didn't move. It's exactly how we always imagined towing a van should be.
Enjoyable.
And I did approach the tyre manufacturer / distributor and they have been amazing about it and have really come to the party on a few things with it. We just look at it and say, if you're getting you're just feeling the van's just not doing what it should be doing and you've cut out every other reason, you're levelling in your hitching, your hitch is correct, you're waiting and you're learning the van is totally correct, then it just came down to there was just one thing left, and we just got unlucky with muddies and problem solved. But we waited now till we've done 3 trips on them before we could come back and say, oh my goodness, the van is just amazing. It's just, she just follows the car beautifully. We don't have any stress about it. We'd also played with our car suspension with adjustable shocks. We'd stiffened it up a bit. We'd done everything. And to go from a van that just at times just wanted to be naughty and give us a bit of white knuckling, and to something, a lot of white knuckling, and then to
a hell of a lot of white knuckling.
Wasn't that bad?
There's dints in the steering wheel from the white knuckling.
No, there's not. We knew Mars make a steady van. You can argue all you like, single dual axle. I've not seen anyone else with these have an issue. And honestly, process of elimination, it came down to tyres. We got unlucky. We fixed it, and we are very grateful. And we hope someone else learns from this as well, because sometimes it is hard to find an issue. We just did process of elimination. That's all there was to it.
And we got down and we ended up eliminating the problem. So trust your gut.
We had 150% plus improvement in the van.
Yep, at least.
Yeah, you actually feel now that you're just driving and you're towing, and the van's following and doing what it's supposed to do.
I'm not fighting it and wrestling with it now.
But we want to emphasise too, this was an inconsistent problem. Very hard to diagnose. As I keep saying, it was process of elimination. We know how we've packed the van. We know what we've packed it to. We know what our border is. We know where our weights are. There was only one thing that could be the issue, and it was the tyres, and we fixed it.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it, Ryan?
And Rani agrees. You hear the wolf, she agrees. So here, that's just a little bit of a PSA.
That's our tyre history lesson for you.
And we're back loving the van. We love the van anyway. We just wasn't quite sure.
Then we're going to pack up and go home. I'll go back to work and pay for all these trips.
And the tyres.
And the tyres.
Because, by the way, we did actually pay full retail for the new tyres for the van as well.
No sponsorship yet. But if anyone's listening out there, we're open to offers.
Could you be more obvious?
Oh, it could be if I
We
tried.
pay for everything, including the van. All right, team. That's our PSA. And we will not tell you the tyre brand because they don't deserve any bad publicity. No. There was nothing wrong in that respect.
It's not bad product, it's bad luck.
Bad luck, that's all it is. And all's well that ended well. So, see you on the flip side.
And remember, keep the shiny side up.
I know what that means now.
You know what it means now.
I know what it means now.
Don't flip your car.
Don't say that.
Night all.
Night.